Sworn in as Speaker of the House, and this after a marathon 4 days, 15 rounds of voting. Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern's name was thrown out for Speaker a few times as the process played out.
The Honorable Kevin Hern of the state of Oklahoma has received 7.
Rosendale.
Kevin
Hern.
Congressman Kevin Hern joins us now with his reaction. Congressman, great to have you on the program. Despite being nominated there and supported on several rounds of voting, you did vote for Speaker McCarthy in all 15 rounds of voting. Tell me, as you saw this process play out and you saw some of these concessions that were made in the negotiations, how do you feel about Speaker McCarthy's ability to bring the Republican constituency together moving forward?
Well, thanks for having me. The real winner in this was the American people. You all have reported on this for the last 4 years and before that even, that the American people are tired of a dysfunctional Congress where we're spending money that's out of control, that's just devastating our future, our generations, for our kids and grandkids. And then what we've seen with the wokeism that's gone on, and what you've seen over this last 4 days is really just a resetting of where Congress should have been at a long time ago. Having negotiated a lot of deals in my lifetime in 35 years of business on a very large scale, this is what you see happen in negotiations. And everybody was involved in this. Speaker Pelosi caused this, but the damage that she's done to Congress over the last 4 years. And now we have Speaker McCarthy, who has worked hard over the last 4 days, I would argue for the last 4 months, to get us to this point. And I felt until he couldn't move these negotiations forward, I would continue to vote for him. And when that didn't happen, then we'd all have to look at a different direction.
Do you worry, Congressman, when it comes to policy, when it comes to making law, that Republicans will run into similar difficulty in getting everybody on the same page? It'll continue to have holdouts, be it the Freedom Caucus or whatever it may be, that put him in a position of having trouble getting to a majority.
Well, certainly it's going to be hard work, and he certainly understands that. He understands the rules, meaning Speaker McCarthy understands the rules that's been negotiated and what he has to live under. Using his words, he said, "I'm not afraid," and we'll take him at his word for that, and we'll all work together. As the chairman myself of the Republican Study Committee, which is all about policy, some 170 of the 222 members, so a very large swath, from the farthest right to more moderate Republicans, we're going to work alongside to help him push for the most conservative outcome of every bill that's put forward. One of the big issues in this negotiation was around spending. We're out of control in our spending. And the second part of this was empowering the members of Congress so that the voice of the members could be heard when they came to Congress, and that's what we needed to work on, and we got that done.
You may have just begun to answer that question for me, but I did want to, on the list of concessions, which I believe we still have, we can put them up on the screen here, that were part of this negotiation. Would you mind telling me, what do you think on that list? What do you think is the biggest victory? What worries you the most, perhaps, as well, on that list of concessions?
Well, I think probably just because I spent the last 2 years writing the only 2 budgets that have been done in Congress in my 4 years here, and so I've seen this at the very detailed level of the largest budgets in the world. And so getting to the balanced budget, of which the RAC put out one last year that I chaired for 6 years. This year was about 7 years. And so actually doing that, I think that's exciting for the American people. Everybody in America has to balance their budgets. The one I think is going to be the most challenging for us because of the small margins is making sure we pass all the 12 appropriation bills so that we can send to the Senate and hold them accountable for making America more fiscally responsible for the American taxpayer dollars.
Hey, Congressman, I really appreciate you answering that question directly. I asked you for both your biggest concern and your biggest excitement on that list, and you didn't dodge either of them. That right there is a refreshing start to the 118th Congress. So I appreciate you being on the show this morning. Thank you, Congressman Kevin Hern.
Thanks, Will.